So, there's this candidate running against Joe Biden, not Marianne Williamson, not the dark psychic energy. I'm talking about Robert Kennedy Jr. RFK Jr. had been banned from Instagram, and Facebook, which owns Instagram, has lifted that ban. Why had he been banned? Well, because RFK Jr. is skeptical of the medical establishment, and he thinks vaccines are often harmful, and he thought COVID was essentially a big hoax. And you previously were not allowed to say that on a lot of social media, including Instagram. Now Instagram says, okay, he's back. He's back, that's fine. YouTube just came out, and YouTube announced that they are no longer going to censor people for saying that the 2020 election was obviously rife with fraud. I'm still hedging my bets a little bit, so I don't want to make a declarative statement. I'm just observing that the new YouTube policy is that the 2020 election was transparently, obviously rife with fraud, and we all know it. Maybe I stepped over the line there, I don't know. But YouTube's saying we're not going to take you down for saying that anymore. Okay, great. Why? That's so strange. We're heading into an election year, huh? There are two reasons, I think, why big tech is starting to lighten up on some of the censorship of conservatives. The first one is Twitter. That's the one the rest of big tech didn't count on, which is that Elon Musk was going to buy Twitter and that he was actually going to be able to, for now at least, withstand the forces of censoring conservatives, and he's going to make it basically a free speech platform, or at the very least, reinstitute normal standards of speech. So don't suppress the conservatives. I don't think they were counting on that. I think they're afraid that Twitter has a real opportunity to gain some market share there. And so Meta and Google and Alphabet, Facebook and Google and YouTube are starting to loosen up for that reason. The other reason, though, that was the rosy reason. The more, I don't know, dour, cynical, pessimistic reason, I think, is that those issues just don't really matter anymore. Oh yeah, you can talk about vaccines, you can talk about the lockdowns and all the fake COVID science. Yeah, because we already did it. We already did COVID. We already locked it all down. We already made you inject yourselves with that experimental drug. We already got you fired from your job. We got you kicked out of your school. Okay, and now the evidence is out and you're going to talk about the evidence about how a lot of what we said wasn't true. Yeah, okay, fine. Yeah, oops, whoopsie daisy. Okay, yeah, you got us, right. We're moving on to issues that matter now. The 2020 election. Yeah, who cares? That's over. We did it. Yeah, we did it. We got whatever strategies we wanted, whatever new voting rules we wanted, even if they were in contravention of state constitutions, like in Pennsylvania. Yeah, we did it. And then the election happened, and then people fought about it, but then Biden's been president now for a couple of years. Yeah, okay, you can talk about how there was a lot of fraud. Fine. Doesn't matter, because we're moving on to the next thing. What's the next thing? The next thing is obviously, I don't even know if I can say the word. On big tech, can I even say the word? You know that ideology that says that if you're one type of human being, you might secretly be a different type of human being? Like if you're like the kind of person who has like a big Adam's apple and a beard, that you might secretly be the kind of person that has like rounder hips and gives birth. That idea. I don't even want to say it because they're clamping down on it so hard. You know which one I'm talking about? That's the new stuff. Pride, the sexual revolution, the redefinition of family, the reordering of education to support this new view of family. All that's the new thing. And that's what they're going to censor you for. That's what they already are censoring you for. That's going to be a bigger deal. Conservatives often are fighting the last battle. Okay, well, this is the new battle, and that's why the libs, they're loosening up on the last battle because that one's already won. Now they're moving on to this one. Right now, go to helixsleep.com/Knowles. With everything going on in the world right now, you could really use a good night's sleep. That is why you need to check out Helix Mattress. Helix has harnessed years of extensive mattress expertise to bring their customers a truly elevated sleep experience. They just launched their new Helix Elite. The Helix Elite collection includes 6 different mattress models, each tailored for specific sleep positions and firmness preferences. I've had my Helix for years now. I absolutely adore the mattress. Night after night, I sleep like a sweet, sweet baby, and I want the same for you. Helix has a sleep quiz that matches your body type and sleep preferences to the perfect mattress, because why would you buy a mattress made for someone else? Go to helixsleep.com/Knowles, Knowles. Take their 2-minute sleep quiz to find the perfect mattress for your body and sleep type. Their flexible payment plans make it so that a great night's sleep is never far away. Helix is offering 20% off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for my listeners. Hurry on over to helixsleep.com/Knowles. With Helix, better sleep starts now. Right now, go to puretalk.com/Knowles, a company that I am very proud to stand behind, and a company that is proud to stand behind us over here and our country is Pure Talk. Veteran-owned with a 100% American workforce, Pure Talk shares our beliefs, our vision for the country. That is why Pure Talk is the official cell phone wireless provider for the Daily Wire. That's not the only reason. Pure Talk also happens to be the most dependable 5G network in the United States. You're going to hear that. Know what you're going to hear? It's one of the it's the best. This is a top-tier provider at a fraction of the cost of those other woke companies. AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile. Companies that don't care about you or your values or worse seek to undermine them. In fact, you can get unlimited talk, text, and unlimited data with a mobile hotspot for just $55 a month. I promise you that is cheaper than what you were paying now for all those things. You vote with how you spend your money, so stop supporting leftist wireless companies that don't support you. Go to puretalk.com/Knowles. You get great coverage and save while you're doing it. Go to puretalk.com/Knowles. You'll save an additional 50% off your first month because they actually value you. puretalk.com/Knowles. Pure Talk Wireless for Americans by Americans. Speaking of conspiracies and conspiracy theories, this is a story I have to get to because of my colleague, because of my friend, Mr. Walsh. Okay, here we go. This is from The Debrief, which I had never heard of before, but this is the headline in The Debrief. Intelligence officials say U.S. has retrieved craft of non-human origin. Here we go. Here's our monthly ET story. Here's our monthly leak from the government, from an anonymous source that actually ignore what they're doing in your schools and ignore the southern border, like the actual aliens entering our country, and ignore, no, there's a spooky UFO. Ooh, look up there. Look at that butterfly up there. Yeah. A former intelligence official turned whistleblower has given Congress and the intelligence community inspector general extensive classified information about deeply covert programs that he says possess retrieved, intact, and partially intact craft of non-human origin. Okay. He goes on and explains why he's convinced this is ET. It says, analysis has determined that the objects retrieved are of exotic origin, non-human intelligence, whether extraterrestrial or unknown origin, based on the vehicle morphologies and material science testing and the possession of unique atomic arrangements and radiological signatures. Okay. Nah. No, that's not real. That's just not real. One, I don't really believe anonymous leaks coming out of the government at convenient times, just generally. But put that aside for a second. How do they know this is non-human origin? How do you know it wasn't just the Chinese who made it? Furthermore, how do we know that this is not just a fake out to hide our technology that maybe has been observed by hostile powers, to pretend that this kind of technology is not really our technology? How do we know that this anonymous top intelligence official, how do we know that this spook, this professional liar, is not just pulling a fast one, which is literally his and their jobs to do? Don't really buy it. Why else do I think the aliens are not real? Because they are, if there is anything that kind of resembles aliens in the world, and this is a hard pill to swallow, and they're demons. Okay, they're demons. Aliens almost certainly do not exist. There's zero evidence whatsoever for aliens existing. But the universe is really big. Yeah, that doesn't have any implication whatsoever for the likelihood or unlikelihood of aliens existing. We don't know what the origin of life is as a material cause. We do know the formal cause of the origin of life, but that's a conversation for another day. No, it's a conversation for right now, actually, in as much as we do know the spiritual aspect of the origin of life. Okay, we derive our life as a gift from God. In terms of the exact mechanics of how that happened biologically and many, many years ago, we don't know that exactly, which is why we don't know it. We have no reason to believe that it could or would crop up anywhere else. But furthermore, because we know that spiritual reality, metaphysical reality exists, we know there's a moral order, we know that there are intelligible things in the universe. We're using signs to communicate about things that are not merely material. Right now, that's what we're doing. Because we know that there's good and bad. We know there's love and joy and hope and dreams and all those things. We know that there is such a thing as spirit. We know that we're not just bags of chemicals. Right? There's something immaterial about us as well. Demons and angels are just spirit. They're pure spirit. In the way that an inanimate object doesn't have a soul, right? It's inanimate, doesn't have anima, just soul. There are also things that are purely spirit. And we are both. We're rational souls and bodies in a hylomorphic being. And aliens are the fevered fantasies of even people who are generally right about a great many things. Even people such as my poor friend Matt Walsh, who's fallen under the sway of the absolute inanity of the alien phenomenon. Boy, what a great clip that was. Make sure you ring that bell, subscribe to the Michael Knowles YouTube channel. See you next time.